so many bands, specifically metal bands, punk isn't nearly as bad for this, but metal
Yeah,
bands have a tendency to like tick boxes and say like, oh,
yeah.
it's a political time. We need to like write the political song now.
Oh man, like yeah, I could definitely list off a bunch of artists that I see on the internet that are kind of like pseudo political
Mm.
and just trying to be edge lords really for the internet, and it's really I don't know. It's just I get it if that's really what you believe, but I guess some of the people I don't really believe them. I think it's just a bit of a a bit of a grab at some attention.
Yeah, and
So
like that's one thing that I like, and I'm trying so hard to just not be fawning over the album because I really did like it, and I need to maintain some professional distance. You suck, and I hate you. Um,
yes,
yeah, of course. But
I'm
like,
glad we got that out of the way.
yeah, what you guys did something really special, and what I think that was is maintained that authenticity.
Yeah, thank you, man. That's a great compliment. I guess that's honesty is always the end goal, I guess, with anything I do. If I'm being critical about something that we've decided to do in the band, I always want to make sure that that is the main box that we tick, whether it be merch or music or a mix decision or you know just anything. I just want it to be honest. Like I don't want it to seem like we're ever doing anything for ulterior motives that aren't pure of intention.
So look, I'm not going to go through like the album song by song, but there were a couple of lines that stood out in Celestial 2 and Farmer. Um,
Yeah.
and I think that it's more a factor of like um, the times that these like jumped out to me. But
Yeah.
obviously, Pharma is about like big pharma, pharmaceutical companies, over
Yep.
prescription of especially opioids
Yep.
and that sort of thing. But like, and in Celestial 2, there's a line about ripping off masks, and based on the context of the rest of the album, I have to assume that that's more like metaphorical than like talking about COVID masks.
Yeah, it is. It is. I mean, we
Yeah.
wrote Celestia long before it's one of our oldest ones actually. So yeah, it was in the context of the song, it's more like your mask is more of like your avatar.
Yeah, like your
The
persona, your
yeah,
public facing image of
yeah,
yourself that's not
yeah,
necessarily your real you, but there's a different
yeah,
mask for different situations. I mean, I
yeah,
listen to the song. Um
yeah.
but yeah, so like I don't know. I find it really interesting because like a lot of bands have material from like even 6 months ago that like get recontextualized by current news. And have
Yep.
you been experiencing much of that, especially with those two tracks?
A little bit. It was strange because yeah, both of those tracks we wrote long before this, and we were sort of wrapping up the mastering side of the album, and then I remember us just having a joke about it, going, I wonder if everyone's going to think "Take your fucking mask off" is some like COVID conspiracy, like they think we're some mask
Yeah,
conspiracy band,
like
but
nut jobs. Yeah.
yeah, exactly, yeah,
You can call
yeah,
them nut jobs, but they
total
are
nut
dear
jobs,
listeners.
yeah.
But
But
yeah,
yeah, like we definitely had that thought, and then the same thing with the farmer thing as well. It's almost as if the first track, we're saying fuck masks, and the second track we're saying fuck vaccines, but we're not.
yeah, like, and that's why I am so glad, so glad that you have the lyrics, because without that, I would have, because the rest of them are very, like, self-explanatory, like, Tribe, is obviously about, decolonization and stuff
Yep.
like that. I'm just trying to remember all the songs basically. Guilty being about the justice system. Like when I was first listening, and for the first couple of times where it was appended at the end of one of the tracks, like Guilty or Tribe, and I think Retrograde does it as well.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. Those are
there's a
the
little
three.
spot at the end that directs you towards like charities, mutual aid organizations, direct action organizations,
Yep. So
related to the subject of the song. And
that's it. Yeah.
man, that's sick that you're giving like proceeds from the tracks to actually put your money where your mouth is, quite literally.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like Tribe, for example, we were lucky enough to get the blessing to use audio of John Trudell, who was like a very well known, kind of like a bit of a freedom fighting poet that was like a Native American. Um, and he passed away not that long ago, but we Lex kind of really delved into his story and the things that he was standing up for and fighting for, and you know we had kind of gotten a bit of the way through the song, and because the subject matter was the way it was, we kind of had just decided to use the sample in there, and we were just tossing it back and forth, going, "Oh well, we can't really use audio of this guy's voice, even though it's really perfect for the song and the
Yeah.
story." So, but then we just decided, well, why don't
Ask.
we reach out to him and send them the song, and and then we also included that that it was always our intention to donate whatever proceeds we could muster from the song to the John Trudell Foundation. So, and
Mm.
then they were absolutely stoked with it, and then yeah, we luckily got to use his voice on the track, which we're amazed by. But yeah, and then obviously we have two other songs as well, which are for Retrograde is for Border Angels, who are a charity. Well, I wouldn't say charity, a non for profit organization in the US down on the Mexican border that kind of go out and they drop food and water and supplies out in the desert to people that are
Who
sort
are
of stuck out in
entering
the
the
desert trying to cross the border.
yeah, who are entering the
Yeah,
states. And it's a real, like, that work that they do is so awesome and so necessary, and
it's just so selfless,
it's so
like,
fucked up that agents of
yep,
the state will come along and sabotage
yeah,
food and
they
water.
destroy it. They cut the bottles of water open and pour them out, and then they like there's photos that they have on there where they leave all the mess there, and it's just so unnecessary.
Well, and
So
they
like,
it says they say, the cruelty is the point. Um,
yeah,
there you can't really rationalize it much more than that. Without this turning into like a 4-hour lecture on imperialism is the highest stage of capitalism.
yeah,
And
that's a different podcast.
oh, well, I mean, not necessarily. I've got the time. I've got the time. Yeah, as I said, the entire album is like very like it's surprisingly astute politically. Most of what I receive doesn't have um any substantive critiques of like um capitalism or like
Yeah,
neoliberalism in particular.
yep,
Um, so, but I do get sent tracks that are about like the Illuminati and like
yeah,
lizard people and
yeah,
shit. So
yep,
like
yep.
I
You
hear
gotta
these.
have a lizard people song.
I mean, yeah, everyone does. I mean, it is metal. It is pretty
Yeah,
metal. Like
it
Hillary
is.
Clinton drinking baby blood and shit.
Yeah,
Like that's
it's
metal as
like
fuck.
it could be a Ronnie James Dio song. I'm waiting for a secret Ronnie James song that hasn't been released. It's going to be about Hillary Clinton drinking baby's blood.
Joey
can hear it already.
Biden, you've been out
Yeah.
too long in the midnight tree.
That's it.
Oh, dude,
Shit writes itself.
Dude, wait. Can we start a Dio cover band now? That's just
Look,
like
I'm in.
Alex Jones. Have you thought about becoming like a 9/11 truther band?
I mean, look, it's always an option, isn't it? Like, I mean, I think we've said a few things on the album. I think, a few. I definitely think there'll be some division over what, it depends on the kind of person you are in a way. Like, it depends on what kind of music you like, obviously, but also there's going to be people out there that maybe like this kind of music, but just can't get down with what we're saying, and that's okay too.
I think legally I was meant to tell you that I'm recording this conversation, but we sort of knew that already.
Yeah.
But now you've got like post consent, which that doesn't sound good. I shouldn't have recorded
that
me
sounds bad,
saying
doesn't
that.
It's done now. The damage is done.
Oh God, I'm gonna be cancelled. I'm not big enough to be cancelled. I think that's it. That is my goal. I've decided. I want to get big enough to be cancelled.
Yeah, I mean that's what we're trying to do. We're just trying to be like Ted Nugent.
Oh well, I mean, yeah. I want to be the next R. Kelly.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's good to you got to have goals.
Oh no. Oh no.
Now you are pissing in my pocket.
All right, dude. I'll let you go. I gotta end this recording.
No worries, man. Thank you so much again.